y'all. So I did a thing today, right? I quit my job. So this actually isn't my first time quitting my job and solely depending on my entrepreneurial income to sustain me. And I say it that way. I don't want to say full-time entrepreneurship because I've worked full-time jobs and still have been a full-time entrepreneur along with that. So that's the distinction. But and for a little bit of context, I first did that. I first quit my job back in 2012. And I vowed I would never work for nobody else ever again. That's why you never say never. I got my hard nevers and my soft nevers and my never say nevers. But somebody called me up and it was just like, hey, we see what you're doing in the community. We would love it. We got a nonprofit. We do writing. We do advocacy. And I was like, oh my God, it just seems so amazing. Yes. I did that for 2 years. And that was after working for myself about 3.5 years. Taught for 2 years. Left that, and actually when I left that, when it was no longer fulfilling, I was invited to start an internship with the Library of Congress. That was June of last year, 2018. I did that, and it was 10 weeks long. I did it, and I realized I really love the DC area. I was like, oh, I definitely want to spend some more time here, at least another year. So moved back up here, moved up here. Like, it's so expensive. Like, my mortgage in Georgia was about $900 a month. Up here, townhouse, 2 bedrooms, $1,500 a month. I also transitioned from being a 2-income household to 1-income household. It's just me now. So yeah, I was like, I think I want a little bit of more, a little more income to cushion me out, make me feel a little more comfy. So I did that. Took on a part-time job with an airline. Free, loved the benefits, hated everything else, hated it. So I knew I wasn't gonna last long. I thought I would last a year. I didn't. I don't even know how long it's been. November would have made a year, so 2 months off, so 10 months. Yeah, and so I wanted to make this video to kind of share like how I'm feeling, what I plan to do differently this time compared to last time when I worked for myself, solely, and how did I prepare for this? So how I'm feeling, probably just as you imagine. I'm hella excited. I feel super peaceful. Yesterday I actually read an old journal entry from mine from July 29th, 2019, so just a few months ago. And in it, that particular day, I had called into work, and I wrote that I was like, as soon as I hung up the phone, I felt so peaceful. I felt so free. It's like time dissipated. That's exactly how I felt as soon as I quit. Exactly. It's like time just go away. And the day is mine. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. So how I prepared was relatively easy. I just made a checklist. So I knew that because if I don't do that, I'll never do it. I will always let my feelings, my fear get the best of me. So I write down a checklist of things that I want to accomplish before I do it. Take on this big risk. So on my list, I was like, I want to save up my next 2 months rent. I want to buy 3 bikes, one for me, one for the kids. And I wanted to order some shirts. So I make t-shirts. I wanted to kind of like start up a inventory of shirts on hand. So I was like, cool. So I got the bikes, I got the shirts, and the rent. I got like 1.5 months. I didn't even get the full 2 months, but whatever. I was like, close enough. Done. Out. Peace. For spiritual, mental side of it, it was a lot of inner work that I had to do too because I was scared as shit to quit that job. And so I was like on a nature walk one day and talking out loud, which I do, and I was just like, why am I so nervous to do this? And I answered it fully. And some of those answers were like, I'm scared that I won't be able to travel like I want to no more. I'm scared that if I quit, like either I won't have enough or I'm gonna have just enough so that I can pay my bills, but then that's it. Like, I ain't gonna have no more money to do nothing else, not go out to eat, not do nothing else. And so something that I did in that moment was like grab my power back. So, and that's what I did. I spoke it up. It was actually a few things on that list of things I was taking my power back from, but pertaining to the job itself, I was like, nah, I was traveling before this job. I'm gonna travel after. I might even travel even more if plans go right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be all right. No, I I put all my bets on me. I ain't putting all my bets on the job. I'm putting my bets on me. I'm gonna be all right. I got this. I was pulling my power back, and that helped me buku, buku. Instead of just like telling myself this chant like you bigger than your fear or you are not your fear or whatever. Nah, like I took my power back. And regarding what I would take, so Sankofa style, right? So taking back from the past and what I would and using that today. It's three things particularly, and one of them is a to-do list. To-do list saved my life. I'm a Pisces. I'm an INFP. I'm a whatever else. I'm Trelawney, and if I don't set instructions for myself, I will blow bubbles all day and blowing bubbles don't pay bills. Not yet for me. So I set to-do list. So I keep like a master to-do list of everything I want and need to do eventually. And then preparing for the next day, that prior night, I'll sit down and write out what I'm going to do, what I need to do for the next day. I don't put times and stuff next to it. I figure that out the next day, but just everything that I need to do. I know if I'm low on energy because of my woman cycles or whatever is going on in my life, then I keep my to-do list short. If I have to work on a task that day, especially if it has to do with being out and about and with people, I'm gonna keep my to-do list short for that day. So to-do list saved my life. A second one is prioritizing my health. Man, that thing ain't no joke. Like when I work out consistently, when I set fitness goals and I set new ones and I'm showing up consistently for myself in that way, it gives me a level of confidence that's like no other. It keeps my energy high. And I just feel unstoppable. A lot of the wisdom, the words and the chants that come to my mind while I'm working out, or I can very much so, and I do use them in life and parenting and business and all of these things. Drinking enough water, staying hydrated, that helps. Cutting back on that sugar. Salts, just eating foods that nourish my body, that keep my energy up. That's what I need. No compromise. And the last one is just showing the fuck up. If I showed up for the airline, for the job, whatever the job was, I could show up for myself. So it's a lot of tasks, a lot of things involved with the business that I don't necessarily like. Following up with emails, I don't like it. Visit, like I want my books in these particular bookstores. I got to show up and introduce myself and talk about what the book is about and asking for the process. And I don't really like that part, but whatever. It's something that I know I want to do and I need to do. So I got to show up the same way I would show up for that job. You heard me? I got to show up for myself. Video blessed you big and excited you. My next video is about world schooling my kids, which I've been asked about. So I'll be sharing a little bit of what that process entails. So look forward to that. And in the meantime, y'all be blessed. I love you very much. Thank you and peace.